And welcome to Cruising with Kayfabe. I'm Mongo.
I'm Emily.
And first and foremost, thank you so much to everyone. We hit 10,000 followers in just 5 months when we hit our 5,000 milestones. So we are now over 10,000. So thank you guys so much for following, liking, commenting, sharing. And yeah, I know you guys have said that some of the trolls get in. I'll say, honestly, we do the best we can to block them or just kind of have fun. But realistically, you can't control who's going to comment. And unfortunately, because our page has been trending, people just see AEW and they see time to come in and talk crap. And it is what it is. Try to block what we can, but also we're not trying to just block just because someone's a different opinion. But if they cross the line, we're not TNA. We're going to let it happen.
And sometimes we just get petty.
Sometimes? I'm always petty. If it was a sitcom Doug, that cartoon Doug, I'd be Petty Mayonnaise.
There's plenty of redheads in that show, isn't there?
Yeah, and apparently people think that only one person can have red hair or orange hair in this industry.
I mean, we got plenty of those.
Yeah.
I thought it was Sheamus coming out. I don't know.
Oh my god, can you imagine how blind you're going to be at Wembley? You can't see. We can't see. We have Collision on the background, but we figured we'd do Topic Turmoil 4 today. We still have some of your suggestions from the last time we've done it. We have some random suggestions, ones Emily won't even let me see. Rules are simple. You basically get 3 minutes to talk on a topic, and each person goes back and forth. If you guys have any topics, you can throw them in the comments. Maybe Emily will write them down during my little rant sessions or discussions, whatever we're calling them. So yeah, and then again we have Collision going on in the background. We have Fletcher going against Ishii, which it's great to see Ishii kind of doing this summer run that he's had. And I know what a fitting way to end Labor Day weekend with him kind of ending his run.
Laboring. That's what that man's done all summer. Labored. He has been such a workhorse. It's incredible.
Yeah, he's definitely special for New Japan there, and it's really cool to see these partnerships like Anna Jay coming back from Stardom recently after finishing 6 matches there. You have Takeshita, who's just in the G1 for New Japan. You have them working with Rev Pro. You have them working with CIMA. It's just WWE working with TNA. It's just great to see that they're not stuck to one company. You're seeing more of these commingled matches that you probably wouldn't get to see, and that's why we liked the cruise originally, because we got to see matches you didn't see. From the first cruise, you had Ring of Honor and Impact. Second cruise, you had AEW talent with some TNA and Impact talent.
No, the first cruise, they had like Super Smash Brothers in the ring because everybody was in costume, and I'm so jealous of that.
That was Halloween, though. That wasn't the Mushroom Kingdom.
It was so good. It was so good.
I wish we could have been there for that one. So I guess without further ado, ladies first. So let's pick the first topic for Emily, and you get 3 minutes, and I'll keep track of time for you.
Okay.
So what's your first topic?
Favorite weapon in a stadium stampede.
Oh, interesting. So maybe we both should go there at some point. Maybe we'll see, because I know you're already stumped in some. Because I already know what one of them is.
I have to go with the pool. Changing Matt Hardy. I think
the Pool of Reincarnation?
Yeah, like the Pool of Reincarnation was really cool. I like that they could kind of break the cycle of a wrestling match with that. But also, the field in general was really cool. Little chalk. That's it. I'm going with the chalk.
When they're the line markers, the first down markers and all that?
Yeah.
I think the bell, when they put them in the giant bell, and they were like, boom!
You know what?
Or the ice machine.
I actually recently saw that bells back in the day, which is why they're in churches.
Which is a Wednesday, by the way.
They were meant to ward off evil and ward off bad feelings and spirits and stuff. So that's why bells are in churches. And I wonder if that's why they put Matt in the bell and brought him back.
Matt wasn't in the bell. It was Ortiz.
Okay, well, I failed.
No, it was Ortiz.
That was a few years ago, guys.
No, I mean, I just think it was just a comical spot. I really enjoyed the aspects of it. It's kind of carny. I think if you're going to go with other weapons in the Stadium Stampede, I think the bar fight, the old with Hangman Page, that was pretty, with Jake Hager, that was pretty funny. I think if you go to the newer Stadium Stampede, when they went into the coach's office and they were kind of just throwing down, or they went in the kitchen, and then I think the last one, that last year's All In, the cookie pan from Sue.
Yes.
Sue's Cookies. I think that would be a good one.
I think I was so excited to see Sue in a match. I didn't care about what was happening. I was just like, it's Sue!
All right, before Eric Bischoff sends 3-minute warning after us, looks like we're up on that one. So, what is our next topic? And I guess we're not going to do the back and forth because there's only two of us. Usually it works better when we have a couple.
So the new 2K versus the old 2K, and this is all you because I can't play the new 2K.
Are you talking about the person who wrote this? Are they talking about like SmackDown versus Raw, or like the 2K13 through 2K24? Because
we'll go with that. We'll take like the updated versions.
Well, that's not really because 2K13 it's kind of been like Madden where they just reskin it. They just add their new roster. They don't really do a lot of improvements, so I would think SmackDown vs. Raw is for me because they had more fun. They had more elements. Wow, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. last week. That is watching a pay-per-view at 1 a.m. I don't know. I mean, it must be good if you stayed up to do. I did it for Wrestle Kingdom, but
yeah, I used to work overnights, and I remember keeping him up during Wrestle Kingdom, like texting with each other. That was wow. That's impressive. That's dedication.
2K19, Tony. Yeah, no. I think my last
version,
one.
You would, Tony.
I think my last one was the Rey Mysterio one. Because I remember getting the Rey Mysterio cover, and I wanted to play that showcase, but it's just felt like Madden, where it's like I'll wait a couple of them to get them because eventually they're just gonna update the roster. I mean, I know 2K23, I think it was, brought in War Games, but 2K24 felt like a reskin. It's just hard for me because when games are pumped out every year, eventually you're just buying skins. So
I don't think I've played a 2K game since like 2014, and it probably wasn't 2K14, if that's a thing.
I still love that Rey Mysterio tweet out, "I'm so glad 2K13 is out so I can finally beat my son." I still think that's a legendary tweet. But I think if you're gonna go games for me, if I'm gonna do like a Mount Rushmore of games to kind of end this one, I'm gonna have probably the original No Mercy, N64, SmackDown vs. Raw, Here Comes the Pain. I think I'm gonna throw on there probably, I'd say 2K23 just because it revamped a lot of things in the series, and I think probably just SmackDown 2 on PlayStation 1. I think those games really kind of revolutionized wrestling, but I mean, there's other gems out there. Like you had the Backyard Wrestling that was fun. You had the ECW Hardcore Haven, which is the same engine as like Attitude and all that. So there's a lot of choices out there, but that's a hard question.
All right, the next one's harder.
Oh God.
Your favorite face of Mick Foley. You go first because you know more about Mick Foley. I just literally know a few.
I always think he has 4. Yeah, I think he has like his Commissioner Foley, Mick Foley. I think I gotta go with Mankind. Hence why I dress up and cosplay as him, because I liked Cactus Jack. You know, he's in ECW. He's the brawler. He's the hardcore legend. Terry Funk battles through ECW, battles through Japan, losing his ear. WCW. But I think him coming to WWF, Vince McMahon giving him the mask because he had to hide his ugly face, and him still kind of making something out of the gimmick, to going to the Royal Rumble where he iconically came out as all 3 gimmicks. I think Dude Love it's funny, it's fine. To me, I knew it was never a serious gimmick. But yeah, I think Mankind's my favorite Mick Foley gimmick. What's up, Matt?
Hey.
So what about you? So Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, or Mick Foley? Which?
I think Cactus Jack, because as I know Mankind had a ton of like hardcore matches, but I feel like Cactus Jack was his revenge. It was like, I'm gonna fuck everybody
up. Like when he brought him back against Triple H?
Yeah, like, I remember Cactus Jack just being like, balls to the wall, fuck everything.
Balls to the wall.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think too, Mankind evolved too, and he had like the brown leather, and then he kind of went to like corporate Mankind, and he had the comedy. I think he was able to kind of show more of his personality, but I mean, there's nothing more iconic. If wrestling photographs were in the Louvre, Mick Foley being thrown off the Hell in the Cell by Undertaker, I think would be one of the most iconic shots in wrestling. So I think right there, that's a Mankind gimmick. So right there solidifies me. But Cactus Jack, Royal Rumble with Triple H, when that's like the first time that Barbed Wire introduced WWE in a while, that was pretty iconic too. Or him getting his ass thrown through the cage as Mick Foley too. Cactus M gets it. Yes, Matt. Yeah, I know.
That was his Reputation era.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
I won't be that person today.
All right. What's our next one so we can move swiftly?
So I put it into the comments, so hopefully we tagged him. But Ahmed said best ever WWE video game soundtrack.
Oh.
No Mercy?
That's got to be the John Cena 2K. He curated a really good soundtrack.
Oh.
It was a good mix of like rap and classic rock. So I don't remember which 2K. I want to say 2K23. I think was the John Cena one. And then we have SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain had an amazing soundtrack, but then No Mercy had the iconic the Dicky Dog. Dicky Dog with the awful BMG music that sounds like Def Rebel's music now.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I will still call that man Tone Def Rebel. Like, I don't know if you guys agree, if you listen to Def Rebel, it's like, he'll get one good song, and they're like, hey, can you make this song for Jay Uso? And it sounds like he took a blender, took a bunch of stuff on an MDI file, and was like, here you go, bet. And it sounds like when you were a kid, I was telling you the other day, I'm sure you guys remember this, when you downloaded it from Kazaa or Napster, and you're like, I just really want to hear this song. And it was just a bunch of producer tags, and it was like, DJ Lethal, New Jam, Remix. I feel like Tone Def Rebel is just the same person who made those crappy samples.
I don't know. I put that into the mix.
And then we have Honest Man on Moxley's Cryptic Message and what it means.
Yeah, I put that in the mix.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Hopefully we get that one, because I'm curious about where that's going, too. Kyle Fletcher getting his ass kicked on Collision right now, too.
Well, I clearly made these a long time ago.
What?
This year's female Money in the Bank winner. Let's flip this. Who do you think is in Survivor Series?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious it's Bloodline versus Bloodline.
For the women.
I really don't think they're going to do it, because I don't think they're focused, so... probably going to have Bailey on one side, but I don't know. I feel like they've kind of torn their factions apart so much that I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. I think they still got to build it, but I mean, everyone's kind of like teaming up, and then you have Tiffany Stratton with Nyla, but Bailey came back to go after Stratton, so there's like a three-way. Then you have Mishin, who's still kind of going against Nia. So
I got this. You ready?
Who do you got?
All right, so we're gonna
Damage
have.
Control's not even doing anything because Asuka's injured.
So listen, hear me out. So we're gonna have Chelsea and Piper with maybe like Bailey and.
That's what I pay for too, Matt. See, it's hard because they're so split apart in feuds.
No, and then they're gonna do a random tag team. I'm just gonna throw that out there, like random tag team.
Like every
maybe
other tag team.
Kaden, and Katana. And then they're going to do on the other side of this, you're going to have Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and a couple others like maybe Jade and Bianca and Naomi.
But then you'd have to flip a lot of heels and faces. So see, that's what it wouldn't work because you have too many heels and faces mixed.
But that's what WWE is at the moment with the female division. It's a very controversial.
But I don't think you could do that. I don't think they have the factions like they did with Damage Control going against each other, so I don't think they can do a women's Survivor Series right now. As I'm saying, they don't have any factions going against each other that are female factions.
Yes.
Damage Control, there, but I'm telling you that's why I don't think we can predict it because we don't know who's coming back and who's going to be called up from NXT potentially. I don't know. I'm going to pass on this question because I think it's too early to tell. And with WWE's kind of booking of women right now, they don't really have a big direction for anything besides maybe 4 stories with them, so it's hard to pinpoint that.
I could see Damage Control getting back with Bailey while Asuka's out.
No, if they just had the whole turn, that would make no sense. That wouldn't after the whole build up of him turning. I can see Asuka forming a different version of the group, maybe.
Well, speaking of turning, our next one is most shocking WWE to AEW transition.
What do you mean transition? Do you mean like jump?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably Copeland. I think. I'm not saying shocking because we knew it happened, but I just think of the people you saw on the WWE roster who would one day go over. I think Copeland, just, if you had told me at WrestleMania last year, well, not last year, year before, the 39, hey, Adam Copeland, he's going to finish up here and he's going to AEW, and I'm like, no. Regal, that was a good one. I think Matt says William Regal. I think that was a good one. I didn't see that coming, but it didn't last very long, so I don't think...
I think Christian was very unexpected.
And I think originally it was underwhelming, and I think people realize now that's probably one of the better signings they did.
Yeah. I think it's cool that Christian got to have a different run than he's ever had before. And I think it's beautiful because people like me that didn't get to watch him live get to watch what he's doing now and see why he was so impactful before.
I'm trying to think of, because there hasn't really been a lot of like, oh my goodness, probably Nigel McGuinness when he first came over as a commentator.
Oh my god, we were so excited for that.
I didn't think anything really of it at first, and now look what it's gotten. He's probably one of the best commentators in the company, and probably one of the most shocking and talk about. I think it's going to be my oh my god moment of the year so far. Is Nigel returning it all in, because nobody saw it. Even the internet was like, nobody knew he was coming. It was Nigel and Tony. So like 3 people total. I've always liked Christian. I absolutely love Christian. I think he's one of the most underrated people because the optics of how WWE pushed him for a while. If you look at his TNA run and you look at his AEW run, it's the best in his career. And when he did have some single success and won in 2011 in WWE, it was one of the best runs of his career. And his tag team with Edge is always legendary. I think he got caught in the wrong era. They weren't ready to make him a single star, so he was kind of the European champion in that mix, which it suited him well at the time.
Yes, it did.
Christian is he is the story maker, Matt. And I think when Christian told Adam Copeland, go fuck yourself, started that feud, planted the seeds for we're not teaming up right away, when he started calling everyone's father's dead, and he wore his turtleneck to hide his washboard abs. Like, he's one of the better heels. He understands the business, probably the best of anyone in AEW. If there's someone that people should look up to as a heel in AEW and look up as a veteran who understands the crowd, it's Christian.
Again, we made these a while ago. We're going to stay on the Christian mark here and go, how will Christian and Swerve play out?
Ooh.
Are they done? It's been a while since we wrote these.
I think that's going to take a back burner for now because of Swerve and Hangman, and also Christian getting the Battle Royal contract, we're going to call it, the BRC. I still think my tinfoil hat is Jay White dethrones Danielson and Christian cashes in, because I think he needs to finish his feud with Jay White, and hopefully when Adam Copeland is healthy, maybe we get that last run in 2025. I don't see Christian taking or needing the AEW World Championship. I see him as being that heel to help Jay White or whoever's the champion get that big victory on the belt, to beat that veteran. I can really even see, if you really want me to draw this out, long-term booking, here's how it goes. Jay White wins the title from Bryan Danielson. Christian cashes it in finally after teasing will he cash it in. He wants to go against Jay. They have their match at World's End. All of a sudden, you see Adam Copeland come out of nowhere and spear Christian and cost him the title to rebuild their program to end one match. Or even spear Jay and help him win the title, potentially. I think there's going to be some sort of co-mingling with Adam Copeland to get that story in case something happens. I still see Christian somehow finishing his story with Jay White right now, because he put Jay White out, he cost him the Trios titles, now he lost the Trios titles. We don't know if Kill Switch, aka Lucha's turning. They teased it all in. Yeah,
can you guys believe that Luchasaurus's name showed up? It's about time, but like, that's making me so curious what's going to go from there with that.
Yeah, that was another good point. They didn't want too many long-haired people in the company, so Christian wanted to keep his long hair, and they're like, no, he didn't want to go short, so they held him back, so he had to cut his hair to kind of get a serious run. W some wild times.
Well, earlier you talked about Mick Foley having to wear a mask, and I want to go back to that because that man was handsome when he was younger. So I don't understand too much of that issue because he really wasn't a bad-looking dude. If you look at old pictures of Mick Foley from, like, I don't know, early 90s.
I mean, that's what happens when you take chair shots to the face from The Rock unprotected like 10 times at the Royal Rumble.
In front of your children.
That dude put his whole body on the line. He is someone that I think Windows Circus should say, maybe don't take the shots to the face like I did. I agree with Tony. I think Brian's holding it for a while. Vince being a prick was why Mick got the mask. 100%. It was all those optics of how he wanted to run it. So, what do we got for the next topic?
All right, next one up is from Walter. the biggest name in wrestling and the era they were and what made them a huge attraction. As far as wrestling attraction, the person I want to name isn't someone I want to name.
I mean, you can't take away Hogan in the 80s. Hogan was everywhere in the 80s.
Everywhere. Lunchboxes,
He
commercials, movies.
Put wrestling on the mainstream. You have Flair in the 70s. You know, NWA, you had the territories. Everyone knew who Ric Flair, who Dusty, Von Erichs. The 90s, I mean, Hogan for a little bit. Ultimate Warrior started coming up. The Hart Foundation, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart. And I know it's a hard question because WCW, you know, they had Macho Man, you know, they had Hogan versus
John Evans.
Sting's the one, I think, in like WCW, and I think 90s, Sting.
John Evans. Bruno in the 70s.
Bruno Sammartino.
Do I need to look him up? Because I don't know who that is.
Bruno Sammartino, he was the one, he held the WWE Championship the longest. He's got the record.
Oh, that's who Roman was going for.
Yes, but it's so unobtainable. The 2000s, I want to say John Cena, like the 2000s.
And Rey
DX,
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton. Well, John, she didn't really watch wrestling until like the mid 2000s, so she hasn't really gone back too far. Probably like 95 is where I've taken her back so far. I'm trying to get her through Nitro first before I show her NWA and other promotions, because sometimes it's hard with some of the older matches with the match quality watching on the streaming service or the pacing of the match, but
I really
she has seen the Bruno Sammartino match. She just doesn't know it because we did watch one. I don't think she remembers that had Hogan in it. I think I was showing you her first Hogan match.
I think the oldest match I've watched was like that big Royale.
Oh yeah. That huge, like one of the earlier battle royals.
Yeah, I still want to watch one of the layered ring matches.
No.
I want to watch one so bad. I think it's self-destruction.
No. So anyway, before we go too sidetracked and we end up having to watch the horrible WCW again. Did that on a podcast before. Don't do that again. Maybe watch some of the good stuff, but not the bad WCW. Not on purpose, anyway.
All right. So thoughts on a custom Money in the Bank briefcase, and who had the best one in your opinion?
Oh, it's so hard. I mean, I like RVD's because I think he was one of the first ones. I think Brock Lesnar, as much as controversial with the boombox, was funny. Tiffany Stratton was killing it right now. Edge, he had a good one. Not all the people got as creative as I remember, but I mean, I liked RVD's because I like that he painted it himself. I think that's what made it special.
I forgot that RVD had his. I'm gonna be real. I love Tiffany Stratton being the Barbie, but Brock's is my favorite. I think Brock was the least person I would ever think would come out with that boombox briefcase. It completely changed his character dynamic to me personally, and I think that I saw like a fun side of him that I never thought I would see.
Yeah. Yeah, Adams.
With Vicky.
Adams Cash, where he just hands it to Vince. That was one of the best ones. Was that with
Vicky?
No,
that was
Dolph. It was Lita.
That was Dolph.
Dolph was with Vicky. That's when he took it off Alberto.
That's my favorite. Because fuck Alberto.
Alright, so yeah, 100%.
Next.
And Artem.
Yeah. WWE pay-per-view you look forward to the most every year?
Royal Rumble.
Same.
I feel like hands down, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor. I mean, that's why they're the big four. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. But Royal Rumble, favorite match type every single year. It doesn't matter who's in it. I'm always going to pop for it. What about you?
Royal Rumble. I think that no matter what company we're watching, I don't care if it's like AAA, I don't care what we're watching. Seeing that presentation of you don't know who's coming out next is so fun to me.
She likes clusterfucks, and so do I.
I do. I think it's just like seeing different people in the ring that you normally wouldn't see as well is really fun. They should do those on the cruise.
Well, Matt, here's some news. If you look at the email very closely, and I don't mean that in any sort of way, I apologize, that's not the tone I meant. I noticed it, and it says that this Cruise 7 is in the autumn of 2026, so this is the last cruise that goes against Rumble. Cruise 7 will not. So, yay! Back to October cruise potentially.
But then again, we do have to admit that we get to fly and travel around the same time as the Rumble, which is intriguing for wrestling fans. Who's going to be in the hotel? Who's going to be around?
But I mean, I think the cruise has made it to the point.
Don't stop them.
No, please don't. I think the cruise made it to the point, even if you do, you're just like, oh, there's so-and-so. I still won't forget, I'm not going to name a name, when we were hanging out in the luggage line, there was a certain wrestler, I'm not going to, again, not say name, and it's like, oh, what are you trying?
Sorry, I distracted him. I know the mouse.
This mouse doesn't do anything.
Just kidding. Squeak, squeak.
This is my work mouse, and I threw her off.
Keep going. Talk about the luggage.
No, I was just saying that seeing wrestlers is just cool to chit chat with someone. It's like, oh, that's cool. They're one of the people I like watching on TV the most. Like, I really enjoy watching, them on TV, and we're just chit chatting on the line. It's surreal. But like, you don't have to be like, oh, can I get a picture? I know you're trying to leave, or can you sign this? No, because I don't want to out who they are. Is this the question we got?
Yeah, so I shook it up and we got...
He threw it up. I'm like, why'd she screw up? Alright, so Moxley had his cryptic message this past week. And I know there's internet rumors going around that it's about Romper Stomper with Russell Crowe, like inspired by that movie, which is a really, really violent movie. I can see it being inspired by it, and based on if that's what the case is, I think he's basically going in there like, no. I came into AEW so we can be the alternative. I'm seeing too much of the other thing. I want my AEW back. I don't want the Bucks trying to play pretend. I don't need Tony trying to do this. Clearly I leave, every place falls apart. I'm the ace. I'm the one who held this place together. I couldn't even take vacation. And then I do, and I come back, this place is a friggin' shitstorm. So he has Marina Shafir. He's going to have Bobby Lashley. He's going to have Shelton Benjamin. This is the Hurt Syndicate. That's where I think this is going after thinking about it. I think we get a new version of the Hurt Syndicate with Moxley leading it, and them saying, these are people who bleed this business. You know what? Sorry, we're taking over. And yeah, I know we'll get some hate, but that's kind of what I think is, it's not your company anymore. That was a message to everyone, not just Tony Khan.
I could see that. I could see him, like how Jericho's leaning on the IWC. I could see them kind of playing it in, especially where Moxley doesn't even do social media. I could see them doing a fun angle with it.
I agree. I don't think, before we pull the next one, Shelton Benjamin doesn't get enough fucking credit in this business.
I know. He's really worked hard.
You talked about Money in the Bank. One of my favorite moments in Money in the Bank is probably one of the most iconic moments where he leapfrogs onto the ladder, or he runs up the ladder, or when he leapfrogs in that super kick that was on the entire Raw opening for like 4 years. And we got AJ. Yeah, it's Ethan Page's ego. Shout out to AJ, who will be on a future episode soon to do this very topic, as well as talk about a trip down to Mexico and talk about the other cruise. Also, he's going to be getting into the collectible business, so again, between me and AJ, there's figures, let us know. We can figure it out. We'll make some good deals for you. Because, if you look, we kind of have a problem.
It's about adding to our collections. It's not about ripping people off.
No.
I wish we could say that that's how we got all of those.
Ooh, Scorpio Sky and Hurt Syndicate. I think.
I kind of forget he's there.
So doesn't Tony Khan.
Yeah.
So what's the next topic before I say something?
So the next topic is on kind of like my ideas with gear. What is your favorite ring jacket entrance? Like style jacket?
Like style or a person? Like
the person. So my examples were Edge, Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho.
Macho Man had such beautiful robes.
Oh, you're right.
Flair, like the butterfly robe is iconic.
This is jacket, not a robe.
Okay, so not a robe. That helps a little bit. I always pop for Bret Hart's leather jacket. That was iconic to me. Shawn Michaels, like weird mirror thing that had mirrors all over it.
Yeah, that
Undertaker.
Thing.
Yep.
Sting. Speaking of Matt
WrestleMania
Hardy.
Sting with the red and black jacket with his white face paint, paying homage to both versions of Sting. Jericho. Who could forget Chris Jericho when he debuted in that like disco ball looking friggin' jacket?
That's my favorite. I know it should be Undertaker, but that's gonna be my favorite.
You sound say Brett Shades? Hold on. All right, Josh.
Just for you, John.
There we go. We'll get some Brett Shades on. Stone Cold's vest. Does that count? I know it's not really a jacket. His vest.
No, that would be a vest. We're going strictly on jackets. I'm a gear girl. It's strictly just jackets. I think Chelsea's got some cute ones. Saraya.
House of Black. I think House of Black has some pretty sick jackets.
They do.
WCW for the longest time, Rick Steiner had this awesome leather jacket that was like studded. That was a pretty dope jacket. I'm going back here deep.
Marco Stunt.
That was on the cruise though. He didn't wear that as much.
I know, but it was so cool. The little scales. I wanted one.
Yeah. It's so I love wrestling.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yes.
That's cool.
She hasn't seen Reaper Man, Matt. I cannot wait. Yeah, Roadway Spikes. I'm gonna be honest. I want to buy 3 print just to make those so we can cosplay, because I know you can't really see it as well, but I have a giant poster of Road Warriors, hands down my favorite tag team of all time. I can't put them in any tournaments because I'm going to be biased. Absolutely love Hawk and Animal, probably best tag team of all time, in my opinion, on my Mount Rushmore, everything. So,
look,
100%.
everything that they did, hands down, like, amazing.
Yeah, no, Bret Hart definitely had some great jackets. Owen had some good leather jackets. I think wrestling in the 90s and 2000s had some really cool gear, and I think they really understood the assignment.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, I can't read, so...
What wrestler do you miss
Goldberg.
the most? Eddie.
Bray, Eddie.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking, like, longer than...
No, I know what you're saying. It's hard, because I don't want to just say...
Like, that's why I don't want to do current.
Stone Cold in the ring, because I think his career was kind of cut too short. Not getting to see what Owen could have been, Eddie could have been.
I think Eddie would love the divisions now. I think that Eddie would truly have thrived in what we have now for divisions.
I almost think it's also a shame that people like Victoria and Ivory didn't get to wrestle in this version of women's wrestling. I almost feel like it sucks that they never got to wrestle this generation where the focus was on the match. I think, as weird as it's going to sound, I think I miss Oswald from Limitless Wrestling because he was so fun to watch on the Indies.
Oswald. If you don't see him, I think he was in ECW too.
And Warhorse when he was Warhorse, if we're going to go with. But yeah. Eddie definitely number one. I mean, Cam loves Eddie. I mean, and I know we said this before. We didn't say, hey, watch Eddie Guerrero's match. Hey.
He found him through a Rey Mysterio movie.
He was watching the Rey Mysterio DVD, and he watched Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Halloween Havoc was Cam's first match ever seeing Rey or Eddie. So clearly the wrestling gods wanted him to see greatness and become so.
Eddie's been AEW champion forever. I don't think that title has come off of Eddie and his Fig factions.
Hi Cal, friends of the Square Circle. Make sure you go give them a follow, guys, too. He's pushing towards 3K. Let's help him get to 3K. He's a great page, too, if you want to see engaging content where he asks you questions, and check out his YouTube channel. It's about you as
the fan, which is the coolest part.
He lets them tell their stories. We were on an episode he just reposted. He's also had Honor the Elite. He's had AEW Germany. He has a bunch. Go check out his YouTube channel. That's what we like building on these lives too, is wrestling communities, because we all love wrestling. It's a buffet. We're all eating good. It's great to be able to interact, just talk wrestling, not to worry about the trolls all the time.
All right, next one up is, what AEW pay-per-view do you look forward to the most? Hands down, Double or Nothing, because I know I'm getting that Casino Royale.
I think All In now, because now we finally have that. We have that pay-per-view now. I don't want to say it's their Mania, because nothing can be WrestleMania.
No.
WrestleMania is a monster. It deserves its place in history. Nothing will ever get, but if like what I think would be their season finale and their restart of the year I think All In is like what they build to. Like I think the road to All In now in Texas is being built. So I think All In now because it's that culmination. Seeing Bryan Danielson have that video package, I bawled like a baby. I don't care. I'll put that in there. Now you can clip that if you want. It was emotional. Like, in that you knew you're like, he's not. He's been teasing it. But what if he's not? But what if he's not? And then it was such a brutal, hard-hitting match that you're like, maybe he can take it. Nope. And then Prince Nana dancing in front of Bryan's family. Like, that was so savage. And that, because I was so emotionally invested, that felt like that payoff. So I feel like All In now. And I know I just went on a huge rant. I'm sorry, but
I could see All In as well. I just know with, Double or Nothing, what I'm going to get is a Royale, and I like that.
I can't see. It's probably because of Bill Goldberg. It's his fault. I think Double or Nothing. Forbidden Door, definitely a great one.
See?
I like Forbidden Door. I like that. That's in London. I think... I'll put this out there. I don't think there's been a pay-per-view in AEW I'm like, I regret spending $50. I regret buying this pay-per-view. I have not had buyer's remorse on any pay-per-view in AEW, and I think that sets the bar so high that people will see a few bad matches and say it was a horrible pay-per-view, and but really, they're setting that bar so high, that's where it should be. We're getting our money's worth, so I'm looking forward to all of them being biased, because I know that, I bought the combo for All In, All Out, and I've yet to feel like I wasted my money. Because I know even if there's a couple bad matches, there's going to be a match on there that's going to be let's fucking go. Oh, Matt. Yeah, everything is Goldberg's fault. Ugh. Bill won't even watch him. You know Bret Hart won't even watch a movie with Bill Goldberg because he has to see him in the credits, so he has to see him get over.
Oh my gosh.
I like the pay-per-views better when WWE had... Yeah, I like that WWE's finally getting their pay-per-views to mean something where the matches are fun. They're finding their rhythm of...
Like today.
Shorter cards, but every story is a to be continued to kind of to watch their TV, so it makes their TV a little bit more important. I like the different styles. I liked watching TNA Emergence with the Iron Man match. I just like that I can literally take my friggin' iPad and just be like, I want to watch this. Like, we literally have Collision on the side. It's a women's main event right now, and it's just so cool to be able to absorb wrestling. I don't have to go meet a friend. Hey, do you have the tape from the 1997 ECW show? I want to watch that match. Oh, no? Crap. Okay. Nope. Now you can just Google it. You can go on YouTube. It's great. All right.
Yes.
You got another one in there?
So our last topic, I guess we'll go timeless like Tony on it. Thoughts on custom title belts?
I love them. I think wrestling is it's a showman sport. I mean, why did Ric Flair wear the robe? Why did he come out? He was styling, he was profiling, he was peacocking. That's what wrestlers do, they peacock. If you're trying to get over as a heel or a face, make a custom title. So, Jack Perry, who knew he could smell belts? That rhymes.
That was so cool. Watching that video, I think we reshared it from AEW. It is awesome to watch. Regular
Spinner, even though Edge hated it, I thought it was cool. It was kind of a fuck you to John Cena. The smoking skull belt, I can't grab it because I have a version of the smoking belt belt. We have some custom titles, the red TNT. I like that the TNT kind of changes with each champion. I love Scorpio Skies. I'm not even a Lakers fan.
Yes.
Miro's
was really cool.
Jeff Hardy's TNA belt.
We have the red one. I had to double check.
Because to me, that's Darby and Brody, so it's special. The Smoking Skull's iconic. I absolutely thought it was cool that Stone Cold did it without permission. And they're like, well, we have no choice but to let you wear that on TV. So I like it because it was a real life rebel moment. But I also like because it shows their personality. Like when Daniel Bryan did the vegan title, when he had it made of hemp and he had wood, that showed his personality. And it was cool because we were at Mania and then they revealed the belt back to Kofi. That was iconic.
Yeah, Matt, I agree. It's just you have to have the right personality going into it. I think that if Tiffany Stratton wins and they don't go pink, it's a miss. I think
I'm still waiting
Naomi
to get the ring. Sorry.
Yeah, no, for real. Cody needs the good belt. Like, what is up with him not getting this custom belt? I'm surprised it's not his head. Like, his...
Moose, when he brought back the white belt, you know,
Yes.
I liked when Cody brought back the white Intercontinental belt, when he was dashing Cody Rhodes. I, like Matt said and you said, I like when the person, like, it makes sense, does it. I just want it to be every single person. And I agree too. I liked MJF, but it was so tacky, it was good.
It worked for him.
I mean, even Will Ospreay, like, it's the reverse Will Ospreay when he got rid of the U.S. and he made it the British title. Just bashed my elbow off a desk here, no big deal.
Not supposed to elbow drop things. They tell you that before you watch the wrestling.
That's why they call it a funny bone, because it's funny for everyone else. That sucks. I would love the Eagle. I think the Winged Eagle and the Big Eagle are my favorite WWF title belts. The European title, can we talk about titles that should come back? The European title. That was a beautiful belt. We should do it. We should do an episode on belts, like our favorite belts.
Okay, no one wants to hear mine.
Well, we have yours now.
I get eaten alive every time I talk about it.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Let's do one bonus topic. We got 10 minutes.
I don't have any.
We don't have any more. We ran out? All right.
We ran out. That's why I told you it was timeless like Tony.
All right. Well, how about this? We'll take one more comment. You give us one more topic, and then we'll wrap up here. Just curious.
We could always show off what we got this week.
I kind of buried. Oh, do you want to unbox them?
Sure.
All right. There we go. That's how we can do it. So.
We got 3 purchases in this week.
So we got the Ring of Honor Briscoes.
Dog collar.
Dream match, to answer that while I get this ready. Oof.
Just a match full of high
so
flyers.
Spoiled.
I just want a ton of high flyers in a match.
Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega, I think, will be a fantastic match.
That would be nice.
I'd like to see Roman Reigns versus Hangman. As weird as that sounds, I think that'd be
No, that would be entertaining as hell.
And now we get to see it. I want to see Rey Fenix versus Rey Mysterio.
Where's our other one? Make sure we don't accidentally.
Oh, it's up.
Okay. We may have bought 2 of these because this is going to our child.
Got one to unbox.
He has been waiting for us to unbox this very patiently.
I think another.
Should I bring him in?
No.
No.
Sting versus Undertaker when they were in their prime. That would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think current Finn Balor versus Kenny, get that rematch to see what that would be like. They definitely box as well.
While you do that, I'm going to show off the fun one I found at Target. It is John Cena, but he's clear because you can't see him. I can't tell you how quickly I put this in my cart the other day. And then, of course, Carmelo Hayes, because, limitless.
I love me Carmelo Hayes. Future champ.
Jamal, if I find another one, I'll pick it up for you.
Those are pretty dope. They got the belts. They got both. It's hard to see with the glare. I apologize. They got some hands. They got both dog collars.
Unfortunately, some people did get mess ups and things weren't in their package. Thankfully, our package is all here.
I was really worried. I was like, oh no. And the one figure not to mess that with.
Ooh, Bucks vs. Usos.
That would be a really fun one.
Sorry.
Oh wow.
The chains are legit chains. I don't know why I thought they were plastic.
They're metal?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think...
If you can hear the jingle.
I think House of Black versus the Wyatt Six now would be fun.
Ooh, that would be very dark. Maybe cinematic.
I'm gonna hold it a different way so it doesn't look like something else. But these are cool, yeah. It's almost like a cheap necklace they get from the 25-cent store. That should be all super kicks. Listen, I feel like the modern generation wrestler, it's nothing but thigh slaps and super kicks, and I'm here for it. They put those in there good.
Sorry, I'm just trying to take the hands out so we don't lose them. Ignore the faces.
Let's see if I can get this figure here. Oh. I got it. Put them in there, good. Alright, let me get the tail belt so I don't make it go deaf.
Oh, they zip tied their feet.
So it's got the little Ring of Honor belts. Styles vs. Osprey would be an awesome match.
That didn't happen yet? Can you mute this so I can go hard?
Yep, hold on one second, guys. Alright, so we got Mark. Clearly the first one blocked it. He's pretty sweet.
His foot's a little fucked.
Dem Boys. Top DOA. Yeah, these are really cool. Oh, really good job too. They made him dirty with his teeth.
Check out his tattoos. That's kind of one of my favorite parts of figures is how they can get so many details in now. And then let me just take Jay's championship down.
And then Jay Briscoe did a really good job with. That's a really cool set.
We'll take pictures and post them up because these are really incredible. And I know a lot of people won't unbox them, but again, we bought two, one for us and one for our child, who's been so ready. Cam has been so excited to play with these.
Yeah, so thankfully, because I was like, I'm going to buy him this, you know, for him going to his new grade, kind of doing his chores, and I'm like, and it gives us a reason to unbox. So those are really cool.
Him. He's
we
an
love
only
to collect.
child. It's really fine.
And before we go to also, if you guys are still interested in the Jericho Cruise, it's only 85%. And they also again announced autumn 2026 will be the 7th cruise. We've had so much fun watching wrestling on the cruise, meeting friends like we've talked to tonight, Jamal, Matt, Tony, Walter. So many of you guys we got to talk to on the cruise, and that's another thing. It's fun to be able to wait in line to get an autograph, and you're all wrestling fans, so you shoot the shit about wrestling. That's why we want to start this. So thank you again so much, guys, for supporting us, tuning in, and watching us, even while we trying to open a package. Appreciate you guys, and you know, without you guys, we probably would just be talking to ourselves. So appreciate you guys joining us and validating our opinions sometimes and making fun of the ones that we messed up on. But I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, have fun with it, bounce back and forth. So appreciate you, John. Thank you so much, guys. We will talk to you soon. So until next time, I'm Mongo.
I'm Emily.
And remember, always
keep the kayfabe.
have a good night, guys.